Good morning and welcome to day 8 of the Harvest Fast, 21 days of prayer and fasting. On yesterday, was not able to do a video, but was able to give a lesson up on Facebook if you did not get it. But just as a review, embrace silence and solitude. In our culture today, it is such a noisy culture, and in our busy and noisy world, it can be difficult sometimes to just hear the voice of God because sometimes He speaks in a whisper. So it's important that you carve out moments of silence and solitude, not just silence, but and solitude, especially if you're a type of person who's easily distracted. Spending the time alone in reflection, prayer, and listening to God's voice can help you return to the presence of Jesus. So, creating that space for Him in your life to speak to you is essential in deepening your relationship with Him. As we transition to week 2, I want to remind you that we transition from returning to the presence of Jesus to returning to the power of Jesus. And our theme scripture for the week is Matthew 28:18. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. This is at the conclusion of Jesus's ministry, only a few days before he ascends to heaven. So it is so critical that we understand that all, not most, not some, but all authority, not just in heaven, but also here on earth, has been given to him. So even when we think things are not going the way we should, or they should, or it appears that the enemy may be winning, we need to understand that our Jesus is the authority figure and he is the power of it all. And the word is return to the power of Jesus, but he used the word authority. You can have power, but not have authority. In other words, someone can give me power to do something, but I have to seek their authorization before I exercise that power. So that's understand that Jesus didn't say he had all power. He said he has all authority in heaven and on earth. Therefore, any and everything must be subjected to him and is subjected to him, especially us as the human will. And I tell people quite often the only thing that can say no to Jesus is your heart. You're the only one who have the power and ability to reject him. He can speak to the winds, the waves, the nature. He can speak to gravity. He can defy time. He can defy everything except for your heart. So I hope and pray that you've chosen to give Jesus your heart today as we continue to move forward in this fast. The number one thing for today or today's lesson is acknowledge our dependence on the authority of Jesus Christ. Let's acknowledge our dependence on Jesus. In Matthew 28, I've talked to you a little bit about that. As believers, we must acknowledge that authority, but we must also submit our lives to Him. And it reminds us that Jesus is not just a good teacher or a moral example, but He is the ultimate ruler of the universe. So understand lesson number one coming out of acknowledgement of our dependence on him is that he is the supreme ruler. And this understanding of who he is and his authority should shape your beliefs, your actions, and your decisions as you recognize that we're accountable to him in all areas of our life. And if you're submitted to his authority, then you can't help but return to that power and begin to walk in that power. The second lesson is about acknowledging our dependence on Jesus. Comes from the statement Jesus implies that he is the source of all power. He doesn't just have all authority and power. He is the source. And so that means that we can rely on his strength, his wisdom, his resources, and everything to accomplish the things in our lives and in this world. Instead of seeking to do things on our own and in our own authority and our own power, we should submit our will to him and recognize we need to humbly submit ourselves to him and depend on his guidance, provision, and his empowerment. This attitude of dependence should lead us to seek his will more and more every day, should seek us to trust in his promises more and more each day, and surrender our plans and desires to his ultimate control. The third lesson and the importance of returning to the power of Jesus. And I say returning, you could use the word recognizing and submitting. In a world filled with distractions, temptations, and challenges, it's easy to lose sight of the power and authority of Jesus because sometimes, if you're just looking at it on the surface, it may look like the enemy is in control. It may look like someone else is in control. It may look like someone else has authority. But I promise you, Jesus has all authority in heaven and on earth. We may become self reliant. We may seek solutions and fulfillment in our own power, our own ways, or through ways and power of others. However, we need to be cognizant of the fact that even if someone else is a help in that solution, that they have received that authority and power from Jesus. So acknowledging his authority, allowing him to lead you and guide you in every single step, you are returning to that power. By doing this, you're going to tap into the limitless resource and strength, limitless resource and strength that comes from being connected to the one who has all authority in heaven and earth. This requires a continuous renewal of your faith, your humility, your submission, and your deliberate choosing to align your life with God's plan and his purpose in all that you do. So, as you go throughout today, this week, I want you to be cognizant of returning to the power of Jesus. Last week we talked about the presence. So if you're in the presence, now submit to the power of that presence in your life each and every day. Thank you so much for joining me today in this teaching. I would encourage you, if you don't have Facebook, let me know and I'll try to figure out a way to get you a copy of the video. If you have someone, I should say this the other way, if you're listening to this and you know someone that doesn't have Facebook, then please send this to them, forward this to them. All you have to do is copy the link from Facebook or YouTube, and then you're able to forward or text that link or email it. So I invite those of you who may be joining us and may not be a part of Harvest Church, consider joining us on Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. for Bible study, Sunday school, and then 10 a.m. for time of worship. Come prepared to encounter the presence and the power of Jesus at Harvest Church. Go to hctuscaloosa.com or visit us on Facebook or YouTube on HC Tuscaloosa and watch a few services. And after you see that you are welcome, we'd love to have you. Remember, at Harvest Church, what we do, we love God and we love people. Hope to see your face in the place. Thank you and God bless.